is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for February 20, 2022, Sunday, a little after 3 p.m. Eastern. I want to give everybody a heads up. We have a new interview I did on our website, weareonelight4all.net, and it was done very well. So it's got motion picture with it, and, as I'm talking, so it kind of connects with what I'm saying in the interview. One of the things that we, as a people, as a civilization, find difficult at times, challenging for us, is patience. Whatever it may be. I think we've all been caught where we kind of get hurried because we get tired of waiting for something, or with ourselves, it gets frustrating. And it's kind of like you got to give yourself a gift of patience. And you think about this, and it's interesting. Do the leaves rush to change their color in the fall? Does the grass hurry to grow up and be cut in the spring? Do the birds rush to find their first worm of the day? No. Nature is at ease. It trusts that life is taking care of it in every living, breathing moment. The wild animals of the forest are never impatient. Be like this wild, free animal today. Choose to relax and be in the sacred flow. Trust that you are always, always connected to divine timing, especially when you think you are not. You see, then we're thinking that we're not connected, or, doom and gloom, whatever. Real abundance grows rapidly only while one relaxes deeply and feels they have an infinite amount of time. That's important for all of us, and especially in these times where we're kind of pressured and pushed, and, a plethora of things can take place, and the ego mind comes in and it just creates havoc. Where, got to get this, got to get that. When's this going to come? Boy, if this doesn't come, I don't know what we're going to do. And these things are played off of the ego mind. And this is why we have that. And then the ego mind dictates to the heart mind. So give it the gift of patience to yourself. You'd be amazed, and it help us all. The universe has billions of ways to keep us humble and fascinated all at the same time, Mike Pearson. The spiritual being that all of us already are is already awakened, already conscious, already empowered, and already eternally free. We are infinite beings. We will exist, live forever. We are connected to the greatest source of divine love we can imagine. We don't need any method, teaching, or person outside of ourselves to access this. All that is needed is a deep relaxation into the source of what we already are. We are the authority of our lives, and we decide when, where, and how we will find, feel, and experience the divine. Our spiritual essence is not hard to find. It is always here now, forever shining, radiating like the sun. It is quietly and continuously pulsating a loving, gentle energy, a softness that has the quality of pure light. The lightness is always happening, even while you're listening to what I'm saying. And it is available to any of us, anytime we really relax inside. This lightness has a pure conscious quality about it which ultimately brings total meaning, richness, and a sweet reverence for life. It's guiding our lives toward a deeply eternal, loving state of bliss, joy, and freedom, which we all are meant to be resting in right now. It is the ultimate experience in life, which everyone is seeking. Whatever spiritual path you may find yourself on is the right path for you in this moment of your life. Even if you don't think you're on a particular path, your soul is, and it is right on course, totally devoted to fulfilling its mission and completely aligned with its destiny to find your path. Start with looking inside yourself and feeling into the most soft, gentle energy you can fathom. Let the worries of your day take the back burner for a few hours. Open yourself to the softest, sweetest energy you can possibly imagine. You'll need to choose to be very sensitive and vulnerable to find it. It takes a very deep listening, an eternal listening, which is willing to wait forever for these blissful feelings to come flooding in. When we do find the soft sweetness, relax into it, dissolve into it. The feeling of absolute joy and freedom it brings is one of the greatest rewards you could ever imagine. Perhaps you're wondering what exactly is a spiritual path, and what are the secrets to walking it? Well, the spiritual path is not really a linear path that one walks from A to B, but rather a deepening and opening into this present moment of existence. It can only be found in the moment. Only in the moment can it be found, the now. This ordinary moment and experience of your life contains the extraordinary connection to the divine. The God source is always here, always now, and always available to each of us. Accessing this general, vulnerable, eternally listening energy inside of us is the key that opens the door to finding God. The experience is surrendering to this way of living your life will lead you to the ultimate destination. The kingdom of God is always available within each and every one of us. It simply takes 100% devotion and surrender to this tight, light, gentle, spiritual essence, which you already are. There is a significant change in our experience of life when we become intrigued by the more subtle and sensitive quality to this life. It's as if you were always weaving a tapestry with normal yarn, and then one day you switch to using strands as thin as a spider web. This super subtle quality is the doorway to the divine and can only be found through deep stillness. This level of deep stillness can only be accessed when there is nothing, absolutely nothing, agitating the mind. This means no chemicals, no caffeine, drugs of any kind, including sugar, or adrenaline kick inside your brain can be there, or any intention trying to take you to some better state of mind. When you are trying to get somewhere better, you will miss the greatest spiritual experience of all. Whenever we can naturally, organically be fully here now, we have the best chance at accessing this super subtle spiritual energy within. The day on which we come to know the supreme consciousness within us, and the outside world will also appear to us like the expanse of the supreme consciousness, Osho. When you think about the idea that you are an infinite spiritual being, it's as if you're tuning or turning on the flashlight to see a treasure chest of diamonds hidden in your closet. This little flashlight allows you to get a glimpse of your real nature, yet to truly receive the wealth from your treasure, you have to learn how to totally relax into it. When you do this, you'll see that the greatest hidden treasure is not just in your bedroom closet. The entire foundation of your house is actually made of diamonds. You discover that you don't need to continue searching out there for a few small gems when you are already sitting on a diamond foundation. You are that which you are seeking. The God that you are seeking is you. And it is through this inner self-inquiry that you discover the divine abundance of the spiritual path inside. The secret to living in a continuous spiritual experience all day long is all about letting your innermost being merge with all that is. This merging can feel like an absorption where the drop of water is taken in by the ocean. The perpetual spiritual experience in life, in this life, seems to occur when there is a deep willingness to meet the God directly and communicate with the divine whatever you are going through. It comes down to having total radical honesty with yourself, being totally fearless, accepting your darkness and your light. This level of intense honesty typically happens when we are forced to face some darkness or experience an intense emotional pain. This pain is what gives birth to the spiritual experience, removing the veil the ego has pulled over our eyes, forcing us to let go of our ego's grip on our lives and become completely surrendered to the will of God. By simply welcoming whatever deep emotional pain you can summon inside yourself, perhaps an old forgotten childhood memory. You can use your pain to open up and access your spiritual connection with the divine. The pain we feel as humans is the compost needed to fertilize our awakening. Pain pushes us deeper into trust to find healing and freedom from pain. It forces us to give up and connect with a higher power within. The blissful effects from feeling our pain and letting it push us deeper into our spiritual essence is the secret to staying on the spiritual path, no matter what curveball life throws your way. It's good to know that some form of pain is always here, always available, and there is an eternal supply buried very deep within. The signs that you have found your spiritual path are profound and obvious. Each moment of your day is an adventure with the divine. You have the natural urge to sing that sweetest song your heart is yearning to sing. You are completely free from worry, fear. Live your life in complete devotion to love. You feel that you are truly cared for by the universe and constantly provided for and held in its loving embrace. You know your being is totally received by God. With the greatest adoration and respect, you deeply honor humility and vulnerability as it creates the receptivity needed to form the spiritual bridge which allows you to feel this intimate connection with the outer world instead of a separation from it. When you want nothing, seek nothing, expect nothing, then the supreme state will come to you uninvited and unexpected. Stop making use of your mind and seek what happens. See what happens. Let go of the idea that you are not aware of yourself as the ever-present, changeless, inexpressible reality. Just let go. Just let go, just let go. Nisargadatta. Before or whenever you sit down to write anything meaningful, most days you may feel that you're just a flute, an empty vessel through which the universe is playing a spiritual song. Other days that you use your writing to find clarity around personal situations that you're facing, learn how to unravel yourself and approach these issues from a more enlightened perspective. Majority of the time, you may feel like you're a co-creative scribe who is dancing with the divine, playing his flute as well as being played by it. You may look at the perspective of existence that there's always three sides to every coin, and it seems we can only see the two opposite sides when we're riding on the edge. Most of us, in no way would we ever call ourselves a guru, spiritual teacher, or pretend that we have all the answers to this life, because we don't. We're always learning. Do you think Buddha learned everything? No. What about Maitreya? What about all ascended masters? We're always learning. Because that load is too heavy of a burden, which we would never want to carry. We simply have had a tiny glimpse of the enlightened state. When any of us ever start our spiritual path, meditating, wherever you may end up, India, America, China, you begin to understand riding the edge between the limited ego, mind, and infinite consciousness, totally able to see both sides clearly during every life situation that you experience. That little glimpse of clarity can inspire us to the point that we've not stopped writing, at least to discover our divinity. You may find that the central aspect of how one knows they are truly walking a spiritual path in this life is that the main focus of their mind is not on the outer world, nor dealing with the issues of their inner world, yet on the realm which is beyond both. The spiritual world is a dimension to life that brings total peace to how we experience our outer world and inner world. It is connected to both worlds, yet it is born from a place that has transcended both worlds. This is why the spiritual path is so attractive and yields the most profound states of peace and happiness. When you are really walking your spiritual path, nothing can faze you or shake you. The clamoring drama of our inner and outer world is mere entertainment, a play on the spiritual stage, which the real life is lived. We all are searching for ways to help this world and feel good about ourselves. Finding out what truly inspires us in this life is an essential key towards taking a step each day on our spiritual path. Just look at the world in separation. And you see, it stems from in spirit. Whatever brings deep inspiration to your life is going to elevate your consciousness and bring you closer to spirit. The key is here, is learning what you need to let go of so that each experience in life becomes a spiritual one. If you think your spiritual path is a separate aspect from your real life, reserving the spiritual experience only for yoga class, meditation time, or Sunday morning at the church or temple, you're missing out on the sacred temple that is within your being all day long. When you bring infinite awareness and divine consciousness to any action, you're making space to include the spiritual connection. And anything you do can become a spiritual experience. Washing the dishes, going to a business meeting, checking your email, or being stuck in traffic can all be deeply profound spiritual experiences. Simply being present to the divine consciousness inside you is where the spiritual path starts, continues, and ends. Simply being present to the divine consciousness inside you is where the spiritual path starts, continues, and ends. Thought is the sculptor who can create the person you want to be. Henry David Thoreau. It's important to know that these secrets to finding your spiritual path are not really secretive at all. Yet it's information that may simply be temporarily hidden from plain view. Perhaps the greatest secret, which is most hidden from this world, is knowing that ultimately you are the God source. You are the sole creator of your reality. You define what is real and true and what is false. You decide what is right and wrong and good and bad. You say, if you say, when you say that something is sacred, then it is sacred. And that's that. When you decide that making love with your beloved is the easiest path to entering a spiritual experience, then that manifests as the reality for you. By owning the fact that your thoughts create your reality, you could simply say, I am ready, I am already on the most perfect spiritual path and heading towards the life of my dreams. The moment you believe it, the moment you believe it, then it is so. Often, it happens that we are tested by life to go deeper into our spiritual nature and grow beyond our current level of spiritual evolution. This is that time in our lives when we feel stuck, lost, confused, or simply frustrated by everything. When this occurs for you, any insight, revelation, or answer that you're looking for can be found by getting very quiet and still inside. In perfect stillness and having infinite patience to getting there, and you become absorbed by the greatest totality of existence. You merge with the entire universe. You become absorbed by God and realize on a very visceral level that you are the God source itself. You know without a doubt that each drop of water contains the vital essence of the entire ocean. Letting the God source into your heart is what is called the Divine Absorption. It is what happens when the little me, who is struggling to get its huge needs met, suddenly is liberated from suffering. Any feelings of lack, limitation, and smallness fade away as this absorption takes over. This experience is the deepest, let go that you can handle. It is the deepest experience, let go, you can handle. It's a total letting go of any attachment to the body, the mind, the thoughts, the attachment to the thoughts, the desires, dreams, and the yearning to change anything in this world. The absorption comes from relaxing into the stillness and letting everything be exactly as it is. This is one of the fastest approaches you may find. Your feet are on the high spiritual path. It instantly causes the mind to step out of any smaller pool it's stuck swimming in into the vast ocean consciousness, which is our basic nature. There are many different ways to access this spiritual essence as our mind can imagine. If you are a super down-to-earth person and just cannot relate to anything that I am discussing here, just take a good look back at your past. Find the most potent, alive, and juicy experience of life that you've ever had. Perhaps you got married, moved to a beautiful home, had a baby, suddenly discovered your life mission, or were simply mesmerized by a beautiful sunset. Whatever your juiciest life moment was, there is a door inside it to access your spiritual connection. The secret here is to find the quality and feeling that it brings into your body and breathe it in. Any experience that opens your mind and heart at the same time falls into the realm of that which can open you up to a spiritual experience. Once you've found the quality of what a really good feeling is like in your body, the next question is, how can you feel deeper into that sensation and expand it throughout your day? Explore how you can continue to let it expand into your relationships, your conversations, and your life. By putting your attention on the deepest juice from the best feel-good memory of your life, you will open up new energetic doorways inside you and soon manifest the connection with a spiritual experience all day long. Perhaps the most enlightening part about discovering your spiritual journey is knowing that it cannot be done by the pure force of will alone. There must be a deeper level of surrender involved, where you are more interested in letting go than attaining. Your heart is open to having a conversation with God and find yourself always opening yourself up. Opening to an energetic exchange with the divine. The opening is the key and golden secret to everything. So it's not about getting anything from the opening. It's what the opening sensation does to your life and the kind of life you tend to live. When it's what the opening sensation does to your life and the kind of life you tend to live, when you commit yourself to a total opening, you'll find the most mundane and ordinary life experiences become the most divine and sacred. Remember, the moment-to-moment path of spiritual experience is the one we all long for and fear the same. We all want a feeling of oneness and deep relaxation in the body, yet we have to let go of complete control to receive that experience. We all want deep peace, unstoppable confidence, and an invincible feeling of trust. Yet we must be able to sit in the fire of our greatest suffering and let it burn away everything. This swinging between the letting go and the holding on is what naturally occurs for all beings walking the spiritual path. There is the ego who is desperately trying to get its needs met through its old habits of effort and struggle. And the soul who sits back, knows, trusts, and manifests instantly. The most enlightened path is to welcome both sides and simply choose to trust that the universe is listening and is paying very close attention to your every thought and feeling. This allows you to feel close to God, to relax ever so deeply, and to find the most solid foundation that allows a daily spiritual experience to blossom. It is the most beautiful moment in one's life when there is neither confusion nor certainty. One simply is a mirror reflecting that which is, with no direction to go anywhere, with no idea of doing something, with no future, just utterly in the moment, tremendously in the moment. Osho. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted. And the first thing that we always do, it is a wonderful practice to get into, relaxing these bodies. If your body is not relaxed, the doors are closed to your divineness within. If we are so distracted with external influences in this matrix world, with the physical out there, the material out there, we are constantly distracted. Our bodies become tense, sometimes taut, distressed, and eventually diseased. So it's the breath. How do you really relax the body? The breath. You move into the breath. You move with the breath. In through the nose easy and out through the mouth easy. The breath relaxes the body. Now, all the mind chatter that we all have, all the thoughts that we're sending out to the universe, 60,000 plus, all the thoughts, programs that fly by us like clouds in the sky, tens of millions of them which aren't ours. So the breath relaxes the body. It stills the ego mind and the subconscious mind, which means you just leave it alone. You're in the now, moment to moment. See, because being in the now, you're not focused on tomorrow. You're not focused on yesterday, and you sure as heck are not focused out there. So the now stills everything, relaxes the body, eliminates the mind chatter, and allows you to go deeper within to finally start discovering the God that you truly are. And it doesn't mean that you're just going to walk around with a sheet over your head, ignoring everything around you. It just means that you know you're in the now, moment to moment. Your divine positive energy, your breath. When you realize that you are the God and you enter these bodies, you power these bodies up so the body can sustain you, the God, to experience the physical life. So relaxing the body through the breath is paramount. Being still. See, because when you leave the mind and ego alone, you're not thinking. You're not up in the head. You're in the heart. Now, I'm not saying it's, lickety-split easy, because we're so used to having the ego mind control us. And none of us are exempt from that. But we begin to discover, or, if you will, rediscover, that the now is all I have. The now is all we'll ever have. The past is gone. It was former now moments. And the future isn't even here. We haven't even created it. We create the future in the now. And the now is moment to moment. So it's what we do in the now that identifies the future. And to become aware of this by surrendering, by letting go. Can you imagine yourself walking this planet with no fear, total peace and bliss. Imagine how this planet will be with that frequency. You have no fear because you were everlasting, the God that you are. You have no worries because you're in this life to experience. And then you begin to open up the love, the happiness, the joy, the bliss that you already are and have been forever. Forever, forever, forever. You'll feel the body loosen. It's like the body's like a super magnetic sponge. And it attracts everything. It absorbs everything. And then along with your subconscious mind copies everything the ego mind does, and then replays it and replays it and replays it. So then this is why we step out of them. So we can watch them, and we know. When you look at your subconscious mind without participating with it in it, you'll see what it stores. So you'll watch the ego mind and what they do. You're not judging. And then you start to understand what the subconscious mind's doing. And it's just an interplay between the three of them. That's why things will keep bubbling up for you. You ever notice that? It's because the subconscious mind has copied what the ego mind has dictated to your heart mind that you experience, uneasy, whatever it may be. And it keeps replaying it. So it isn't complicated. It's pretty darn simple. It's a choice. It's what you choose. No one's going to choose it for you. You choose it yourself. You know, we have, all of us will wander into the past. And will wander into the future. But we leave the now alone. Why is that? Why do so many of us leave the now alone? We don't visit it. We aren't there. Because the ego mind knows that if it does go into the ego, if it goes into the ego mind, which it is, it's happy. But it knows that if it goes into the now, it doesn't exist. You see? It doesn't exist in the now. It only exists in the future and the past. Isn't that amazing? Tricky little bugger. So we begin to realize where we're at with ourselves. We all reminisce, we all go into the past. But we don't stay there. You know, we've got the subconscious mind, which is our super library. Because it is. Past lives, future lives, everything's there. Now, when you go in there, you get some movies and you get some pictures and some books, and then you sit down in an easy chair and you watch the movies and you look at the pictures and read the books. It's fun because it's something that you had done in your life that you refer back to that was fun, enjoyable. And we'll also even visit the areas where we say, well, we won't do that again. But, the majority of us leave. We put it all away. We turn off the lights. We shut the door. We move forward. We're always moving forward in this life, always moving forward and experiencing what we choose to experience, period, and being in the now. Some of us will go in there, and I don't believe it's consciously aware. I believe it's unconscious, and we'll go there, and we'll stay there. And we stay there so long, and this is with everything. We stay there so long, it's our emotions, our character, our personality, everything. And we end up bringing that past into a future that doesn't exist. We create that future from that past. We relive that past and that future. This is why a lot of people will say, no matter what I do, what we do, we always seem to end up here. Now, some of us, all of us go into the future. Future is not made. It has not been constructed because we do that in the now. But we go there, and we wonder, and we want, and we wish, and impatience. When is this going to happen? When is that going to happen? When am I going to have this? When am I going to have that? And you see, when we do that, we suffer. Because when it doesn't happen and we have expectations and it doesn't happen, we suffer. We're let down. We're disappointed. But when you don't have expectations, it's a fine line. When you don't have expectations, you don't have attachments, it comes. Always has. But we just don't give it a chance enough for it to come. And like I've talked about, the abundance of the universe does not come to meet us in lower frequencies. It's us to increase our frequencies so that we can plug right into the constant stream of abundance. And any of us can drop. We can drop in any simple thing where our frequencies, we lower our frequencies. We lower them. When we do things to harm others, make statements, do anything, our frequencies are lowered. We are then exposed to more invasion, more disruption, more disappointment, and the ego mind is front and center. And the only one that harms is you. Nobody else. You. That's why unification on planet Earth is so vital for all of us to drop our penny ante inconsistencies, prejudices, ego-driven responses, revenges, whatever they may be, and become one. Join as one. Work as one. Picture how this planet is going to be when that is consummated. The old Earth is disintegrating. The 3D world that we've been in so long is dropping away. And the only reason that is that we have chosen, as a civilization, for the most part, to start our journey within, to understand that every single one of us has the kingdom of God within the body. And then we begin to realize that all this material, physical world crap is just that, crap. And we start letting it just fall off and melt away. The ultimate direction for humanity is to be in total peace, relaxation, fearless, and content. Wanting nothing, period. Desiring nothing, because knowing that we are everything and everything is us. How can you have when you already have? How can you want when you already have? You already are. Now we look at these bodies. We know we're not the body. We know we're the God. Pure consciousness, however you label it, kingdom of God, heaven. And we know that these bodies, we have a tremendously intimate understanding of the whole structure of these physical forms that we've inhabited. It's just that we have some amnesia blocking us to understand that. So when you look inside the body, you see 7 lights from your tailbone to the top of your head. What are they? Where'd they come from? Are they real? They're spirit, etheric energy. That's what they are. And we, spirit, etheric energy, the gods that we are that make up the one God, flow through them. And we know everything about these bodies right down to the quantum quark. No ifs, ands, buts about it. So eventually, as we continue with our journey within, we will discover that we are the powers of healing these bodies, the gods that we are. When we enter these bodies, we are the heaven. Heaven isn't a place. You are the heaven, the God that you are. Kingdom of God. So when we enter these bodies, we are the heaven, the body is the earth. And we're consciously aware. What the heck does consciously aware mean? It means that we know that we are of and from the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, eternal love. We know it. And we practice operating from the heart mind, not the ego mind, not the subconscious mind. So every step we take on this planet, we are creating paradigms. Literally, not figuratively. And we're shining our light. What is the light? What is it really? There's been a lot of false accusations and claims of the light. The light is the God that each of us are. We all make up the one God. And you see, the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies believe that they can buck the one God. It cannot be done. It never has been done. And it never will be, because everything is part of the one God. All of it is. The good, the bad, the ugly. It's all the one God. And the light is love. Pure, deep, eternal love. That's the light. That's what we are. Isn't it amazing? People who get angry, vindictive, vengeful, love under pressure. So we're shining our light 24/7, infinity beyond, in a 360-degree pattern that cascades out and moves through all life, the highest supreme value in the universes. It moves through all life. There's no escape from it. Now, if you took a starship off this planet, you got out far enough, and you were able to see the total circumference and the total globe, you would see that it glowed. For goodness sakes, we have 8 billion, whether they're awake or asleep, gods and bodies, and then not including all of the other gods inhabiting other physical forms to experience those physical forms. It's almost endless. So you would look at all the lights on the outside in the universe, and you would see that they all pale in comparison. It'd be like a candle that's lit in a dark room. Dim, dim, dim. Now we have many of us housed in different forms, experiencing those forms and physical life and out there. And we're turning this planet into a God planet paradise that glows with the love of all the gods that are made from that love. Some of us are awake, some of us are asleep, but we're all one. So the parts of us, the gods that we are that are asleep, they'll wake in their own time. We love them just as deeply and dearly as the awake parts of gods that we are. Now, this is all the light energy beings and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. The ascended masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Christ, El Moria, Abundantia, Pel, Thoth, Yahweh, Yeshua, all the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, and beneath earth, all the off-worlders, celestials, and galactics, all of our loved ones who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited, all the archangels, cherubim, seraphim archetypes. Now, light energy beings on this planet, they're in the light spectrums. They're in the violet, the ultraviolet, the blue, the ultra blue, the red, the ultra red. And they come in shapes, color, sizes, forms, configurations, which we just don't see because of the eyes we have with these bodies. There is a group we're familiar with. Part of that group, or these bodies that we're in, are intimately dependent on parts of this group. Fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trees, the trolls, the elementals, the magics, earth, air, water, fire, ether, wood, the mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, the minotaur. Now ask yourself, the God that you are in that body, could this body sustain the God that I am without water, air, fire, earth, wood, ether? And the answer is no. You see how these bodies are intimately dependent on the magics, the elementals. I mean, have you ever heard of people that combust, right? Fire. And most of these bodies that we're in are water. And some of the chemical compositions of these bodies match the chemical compositions of earth. And then we have the etheric. Spirit. The God. Now, we're familiar with a small group of off-worlders. Over 1,000 species, civilizations travel through the solar system every day. Trillions throughout the universes every day. The small group that we're familiar with, Pleiadians, Sirians, Arcturians, Andromedans, Felines, Zeta Reticuli, Anunnaki, Nords, Greys, Draco, Reptilian, Golden Pyramid, Avian. They've been assisting us in our evolution, enlightenment, ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. Now, the ascended masters, they have ascended into physical form, and they have mastered physical form. They have ascended out of physical form. They hold pure consciousness, God form. We have ascended into physical form. We are in the process of mastering physical form. And we are creating our experiences to perfect our creations. The archangels, cherubim, seraphim archetypes. Their civilization have vibrated at a different frequency than we do, although the gods in their bodies are no different than the gods in our bodies. Because of their vibrational frequency, we do not see them like we see each other. But we do meet with them. Many lifetimes we've met with them. They're always there. It's very subtle. We don't connect it a lot of the times. If someone shows up to help you, there's always something there that will aid you in something. And you always feel good about it when you acknowledge it. And they have one message that they've been delivering for eons. And isn't it magna glorious, stupendous, splendiferous, phenomenal to be alive in these bodies? And it is. We've just lost our memory of how wonderful it is to be in these bodies. Amnesia. Because when we are not in these bodies, the gods that we are, we don't make love, we don't kiss, we don't hold hands, we don't eat, we don't drink, we don't sleep, we don't laugh, we don't cry. We don't do any of those things. We don't see through eyes. Isn't that amazing? We don't experience happy, fun, joyous. That's why these bodies are so seductive to us. That's why a lot of the times we are frightened to leave them, because we've gotten so addicted to them, but yet not knowing how to care for them. Now, they can surround any one of us at any one time in the tens of thousands or tens of millions. Because of their vibrational frequency, they can hold a large number in a small area. And ask them. They'll be there in the blink of the eye. And you'll be in bliss. Now, we all gather. We're always one. In full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance. Our God Force Love Light energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. Continues to grow, continues to expand and intensify. And we're all one. We're all God. We're all love. And we're liberating this planet with our love, the love that we are. We're liberating it, literally. We're in full focus, knowing who and what we are, to a certain extent. We are pouring this love, the light that we are, saturating everything, blasting all life, the highest supreme value in the universe, our brothers, our sisters, bugs, dogs, cats, trees, everything. There is no escape from this. The lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies cannot operate their low frequencies as we continue to increase ours. This is a collective consciousness decision. It is not a happenstance. It is in full engagement. And any low with our dark matter, survival matter frequency will not be able to sustain its existence in the higher frequencies. It cannot. This is how planets are liberated. Picture a golden, white, pink, cascading light emanating from each and every one of us, from the gods within us. And watch it and experience this light as it saturates all of the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies on, in, above, and below this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. You see it through your heart, mind, motion picture. It is so spectacular because it is each of us, the God Force Love Light energy. And it is cascading all over the planet. And it is literally saturating, permeating the atmosphere, everything, all of us, all of the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies, saturating with pure, deep, eternal love, the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest, deepest, purest of the purest, purest, eternal love, gratitude, peace. Feel it and watch it. We're moving in the opposite direction of the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies. Do the opposite of what didn't work before. Believe in the power of silence. The more you can relax and just be, the more abundance of life's rich experiences we will receive. I'll join you in the meditation and return to close us out.
Take an easy breath in through the nose and an easy breath out through the mouth. Choose to stay completely still or move easily and slowly. For today, investigate this experience called breathing all day long. Keep your mind back to the breath, following it wherever it flows. Just be with it. If it's shallow, deep, fast, or sluggish, don't try to change your breath in any way. Simply connect to it. Feel it from your heart, as if you're making friends with it. Notice how it changes when you merge with it and allow yourself to become it fully. This is the now. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, and the following morning. We will return here Monday, February 21, 2022, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call.